Absolutely, it's taking back the power.
Taking back power after a sexual assault. Politicians at the state level are changing a Virginia law after a News 3 investigation exposed harm being done to sexual assault survivors. Our first report got the attention of the Virginia Attorney General.
How did you find out about this whole situation?
Your story.
Now, Virginia lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are supporting change to legislation. Investigative reporter Margaret-Ann joins us with the details of how our investigation caused change at the state level.
As a physician, I was horrified.
Horrified that the rights of suspects were being put in front of the rights of survivors. News 3 first brought you this issue last summer. A woman said she was violently raped in her shower after a man broke in. He was arrested. She said the attack was horrific, but the aftermath even worse. Rape suspects used to be forced to take an HIV and hepatitis test with a court order. That law changed in 2021. The lawmakers who led the change previously said they were trying to destigmatize stereotypes about people living with HIV and made a series of changes to the law. But rape survivors we spoke with say this specific change prevented them from getting vital information after an attack.
One of the worst things about, the victimization is the powerlessness. And information is power.
The survivor at the center of this case said she got sick from the medication that works to prevent her from getting HIV. She, not the suspect, was required to repeatedly take tests to see if she had been exposed.
It's constantly the forefront of your mind because you question whether or not you've contracted something.
I was approached by the Attorney General's office, and they shared with me the article that you'd done and the complications and problems that a victim was having.
Senator Siobhan Donovan is also a doctor and saw major flaws with the law.
I thought I was the perfect person to be able to stand up and explain why being able to have a baseline test of what you might have been exposed to was not only valuable and pertinent, but really necessary.
She and Delegate Emily Brewer wrote new legislation this session that got support on both sides of the aisle. With a court order, a suspect would undergo STD testing that would not be used against them during their court proceedings, but rather provide the survivor with information that's vital during the healing process.
Absolutely, it's taking back the power because you are powerless in that situation.
Many praising this survivor's courage to speak out.
It was very upsetting at first, but it has helped to, be able to have a voice. It's helped to be able to, tell you my story, and then you've shared it.
She's going to help a lot of other women for really stepping up and speaking out.
Under the new law, a suspect would be tested for a range of sexually transmitted diseases, not just HIV and hepatitis. And the new law has moved through the House and the Senate without any opposition. Margaret-Ann, News 3.